Hey everybody, Jim here, welcome back. Today, as you can plainly see, I have a whole bunch of PS4 collector's boxes, I guess you would call them, or box sets for various different games. I've actually been picking these up all over the city and selling them on Facebook and even a few of them on eBay as well. And I figured since I had so many of them on hand, there's some pretty cool stuff in them. There's soundtracks and art books and other various things. I thought it might be cool to do some unboxings of a few of these and just take a look at what's in some of these limited editions of PS4 fighting games and puzzlers and other various types of games. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. So let's get started by opening up the box set for Catherine Full Body. Okay, so here we are getting started with the collector's box for Catherine Full Body, which is actually about to get its North American release. So all you fine folks in North America and Canada, and I'm guessing it's going to get a PAL release as well. You can all get your hands on this cool game, and there are going to be box sets available as well. The stuff that comes with this one is pretty cool. So you got the sleeve, the box itself, which has pretty cool artwork on it with the Catherines and Vincent, as well as this the new character. I believe she's another Catherine with a different spelling, or Kathy. I have yet to play this game, actually. And then the game itself, and then the cool like bonus contents, which are always like kind of the reason to buy these things. First up, this, get the glare out of there, very cool 4-disc soundtrack. So let's take a look at that. So there we are. The first disc is beneath the little booklet here with all the track list. So we have the various Catherines on the first 3 discs, and the 4th disc is actually your underpants, your nice polka dotted underwear. So that's very cool. So we have our Catherine 4-disc soundtrack, which is great because I do really enjoy the Catherine soundtrack. So that's a nice little thing to have. It also comes with this. This is kind of an odd addition. The narrow glass. This is kind of like I guess a cup paper cutout mask. So you can just pop this out, pop out the eye holes. You have 6 eye holes, and you can wear this as a mask, I'm assuming, for whatever reason. In case you want to wear this as a mask, you want to pretend you're one of the sheep guys from the game. And then, of course, what collector's box is complete without an art book? And you would really need to have an art book for this game, because the art design in Atlas games is always awesome. We're just going to take a look at a few things in here. We have a table of contents. I'm going to do a quick flip through. Let's just kind of stop on some random stuff. Alright. So we have character art here. That is very cool. I do like that very much. And we have our Catherines here. So this is very cool. Again, I really love the art featured in Atlas games. It's always really good, and Catherine is no exception. Catherine has great art, especially, I wonder if there's some of the environments are back here. There are some. Okay, good. Let's, this is, wow. This is pretty cool stuff. Oh, okay, cool, and there's like covers for the PS3 and 360 games. Some more kind of like fold-out stuff. So this is all pretty cool. I do like this very much. It would be nice if there was more like art of the environments, but as it is, all of this cool character art, sketches, and things like that, I like that a lot. So there you go. You have the Catherine Full Body art book that comes with the Catherine Full Body set on the PS4. Again, that is something that is coming to the States very soon. But there you go. That's a look at what you can find in the Japanese collector's box. It's very cool. So with that, let's move on to the next game. How about a little Shinran Kagura? Okay, we've got some Shinran Kagura Peach Beach Splash now. Very cool. And this particular set is called the New DX Pack. So there you go. You got your Shinran Kagura New DX Pack, and it's got all the various contents and screenshots and things like that on the back. So you can see there's some pretty cool stuff within. So let's take a look. First of all, again, we have the game itself. And the cover has a cool, like, I don't know, kind of like Polaroid look to it. You've got like a beach cap and some stuff here. This is another one that I have yet to play, but I am well aware of. And this is one that did get a release in the United States, so everyone can enjoy some Shinran Kagura Peach Beach Splash. Now this came with a couple of things. This is... if I can get the glare out of there. Sorry, not trying to blind anybody. This is the Peach Beach Splash soundtrack and opening animations. This is actually still factory sealed, believe it or not. So I did buy this used from a book off, but the soundtrack, nobody ever bothered to open it. So what we have here is the soundtrack and DVD. And that's pretty cool. So you get all of the music from the game, plus you get the various animated sequences from the game, and that's pretty cool. And you know, love the artwork. This is another series. I mean, is this like super cutesy, bright, colorful anime style, which works for video games like this. So I like that quite a bit. So the soundtrack and the opening animations, and then again, like I said, the cornerstone of any good collector's box, the art book. So let's take a look in the art book. We have some environments there, that's cool. Various items from the game, weapons from the game, that's awesome. I guess these are kind of like storyboards for some of the animated sequences, and then of course our illustrations of all of the various ladies of the game and all of their busty glories. So have a look there. And next to each character, it has like all of their measurements and their blood type and some other various facts and figures about them. But of course, all anybody really cares about is the bust size on these young ladies. This is probably a series I should get into, just because I do like stuff like this. It's very ridiculous, over the top, just a bunch of really busty ninja girls running around with water guns. Sounds like a lot of fun. Anyway, this is pretty cool. Some kind of like more fold-out stuff there. So that's the art book for Peach Beach Splash, and that's what comes with the new DX pack. We've got the soundtrack with animations, the game itself, the art book box to keep it all together, and that's pretty cool. Again, I need to get into a little bit of this Shinran Kagura stuff. Seems like it's right up my alley. Okay, so here we have the Nitro Plus Blasters Heroines Infinite Duel Super Blasters Limited Pack, which is a mouthful. It is Nitro Plus Blasters. This is a great 2D fighter, as you can see. Another game that has an emphasis on very busty female characters, which is always appreciated. First up, this did come with something kind of odd. This is still factory sealed, actually, so I'm going to leave it that way. But this is like a big glass paperweight kind of thing, and it has the image from the front of the box actually, I guess, kind of like engraved in the glass, which is pretty cool. And it's kind of a heavy one too. This will definitely keep your papers in place, if that is indeed what it is intended for. It's just a big glass thing. I don't know what else you would do with it. We have our game here, Nitro Blasters, which I can say I have not played the PS4 version of this game, but I have played plenty of the arcade version. And I do like this game quite a bit. It is another one that's, kind of fast-paced, heavy emphasis on the crazy combos and things. But it is fun, and the characters are from a bunch of different series, like Arcana Heart and Fate, which are series that I like. It also came with the soundtrack, which this is another thing that is just kind of like standard issue for these collector's boxes, is you must have some manner of soundtrack. If it doesn't have a soundtrack, I don't even know why. You can probably just go and download most of this music, but for those of us who like to have physical media, that is something that's kind of pertinent. And again, we have another art book, Nitro Blasters, so we're going to get to see some cool character art, things like that. These are cool. This is more, I like the coloring on these, actually. These are like a little darker shaded, so that's pretty cool. Little chibi versions of these characters. Again, lots of characters from other series that you would recognize. So for instance, there's Heart Ino from the Arcana Heart games, and there is Saber from the Fate series, and a whole bunch of other characters as well. But again, it is a, it's Infinite Heroines Battle, so it is 100% characters, female characters. I believe this young samurai girl here, she's from Phantom Breaker, maybe? I think she is. I'm not 100% sure. If she's not, she definitely resembles the young lady from Phantom Breaker. But these are cool characters, cool character designs. I like this quite a bit. Again, Heart Ino there, and we also have Super Sonico, which is very cool. Super Sonico, you see her around a lot. I'm not even really 100% sure like what series she's from. And then we also have Saber from the Fate series as well. Saber, kind of like the a lot of the other girls are kind of like scantily clad. Saber, head to toe. She's smart with her armor and things like that. So lots of characters, and a really fun game. And this set comes with a pretty cool art book, soundtrack, and glass carved thing. I don't know. But there it is, Nitro Blasters, Heroines Infinite Battle, Super Blasters Limited Pack. Kind of a mouthful. But there it is. It's pretty cool. Got some cool stuff in it for you Nitro Blasters fans. Alright, next up we have the Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator Limited Box, which is very cool. Guilty Gear Xrd, great game. Guilty Gear is one of my favorite series of fighters ever. One, because of the amazing gameplay, and then also the awesome characters, but the soundtrack as well. So right off the bat, we have the game here, obviously. Great game, if you haven't picked it up and played it already. But we also have a couple of soundtracks here. This one is Sound Live 2014 Archives. So this is these are like live studio versions of the various tracks from the Guilty Gear soundtrack. And then this one is Toshin Gekitotsu. And this is a live performance of the various songs from the Guilty Gear soundtrack. A lot of recognizable tracks. So you get the soundtrack on CD, and then this is, I guess, a Blu-ray actually, so you can watch a full-on Guilty Gear live concert, which is very cool. So we got the soundtrack, like a double soundtrack, or soundtrack and video, which is great. And then, and let me make some room here, because this is actually a very large hardback book. But Guilty Gear Xrd visual book. I don't even know if this is all going to fit in frame. Let me get this guy open. And okay, wow, there's like a lot of stuff in here. So more than just like art and depictions of the characters, we also have like information about, I guess, like their dialogue, their voice. We have some stuff here, if you can see it. It's kind of like storyboards about how their moves are performed. That's very cool. We got Mila Rage, or Melia Rage, May, Saul Bad Guy, of course. What else is in here? Let's flip a little further back. Yeah, it's all of the characters. It's their dialogue. It's storyboards of the characters. All kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, this is quite awesome. Jam, Jacko. There's some Johnny, very cool character. Yeah, it's like I said, I love the Guilty Gear characters, and I love just kind of like the world that they live in, and the soundtracks are just like some of my favorites. The Guilty Gear music, you know, thinking back to the first game, it's weird that the first game was made almost entirely by one guy, doing the programming and developing the characters and making the soundtrack as well. But anyway, Guilty Gear, simply amazing, and this is a very cool box set. And this book is really awesome. Again, like really sturdy, like hardback book with some really cool character art and other things in it. So I like that a lot. So that is the Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator Limited box. Very cool to have for a Guilty Gear fan. Okay, carrying on with some Arc System Works goodness. This is the BlazBlue Central Fiction Limited box. And just like the Guilty Gear one, this has some very cool stuff in it. Obviously we got the sleeve and the box it comes in here with variant art. Really just the inside box. They have like a little less clothes on for whatever reason, but okay. So here is the game itself. Admittedly, I have not yet played this iteration of BlazBlue, but I am a BlazBlue fan. I have played like 2 or 3 other versions, and I do like this series a lot. Not more than Guilty Gear, but I do like it quite a bit. It did come with the soundtrack, the BlazBlue Song Interlude 3 soundtrack, which is still another one that's factory sealed. So I guess people that are buying these limited boxes out here, they don't really feel the need to open the soundtracks. So this baby is still factory sealed, and at least for the time being, it is going to stay that way. It is a 10-track CD soundtrack, so that's pretty cool. We also have this little cute chibi figure, Noel Vermillion, and pretty cool. I think this is the only one of these sets to have a figure in it, and it's not like, you know, some crazy statue or anything, but that is pretty cool that you get a little kind of like chibi figure of one of the game's central characters. And then again, I'm gonna have to move some of this stuff out the way because just like the Guilty Gear set, this one came with a big hardback book. It's the memorial book, so let's open that one up as well. There's the back cover, which is very cool. And okay, let's open you up. Let's see what you have to offer. And here we go. What do we got? We've got glare. Sorry. Okay. So artwork. Plenty of artwork, as one would expect from an art book. But look at some of that. That is beautiful. The coloring and detail. This is really nice. The character designs in BlazBlue also very, very cool. Pretty much anything Arc System Works puts out is going to have wonderful art direction. Just really great anime style to everything. It's cool, it's brutal, some of it's kind of sexy, and I don't know how distinct I would say it is. I couldn't necessarily tell you which artist particularly this is, although I'm sure it's all listed here in the credits and such. But it is really beautiful artwork. Extremely colorful, detailed stuff, just these super like collages of like color and characters. Some of it a little bit risque, as you can see. I like that a lot. Some of it very risque, actually. That's fantastic. I hope none of this gets gets this video like flagged or like demonetized or anything. Some of this, yeah, a little bit unsafe for work. But what can you do? It's Japanese gaming, people. There's gonna be plenty of this stuff, and I personally appreciate that. We need more smut in our video games. Anyway, this is great. This is kind of like the opposite of the Guilty Gear book, where that one really focused on like the individual characters and everything. This is just like straight up artwork, and I like that a lot. This is what I want from an art book. This one is definitely much better than the BlazBlue art book, for sure. Just tons and tons of artwork in here to look at and appreciate. So that's the BlazBlue Central Fiction Memorial Book that comes with the BlazBlue Central Fiction Limited Box, and it's very cool. So again, something to maybe look out for if you're a BlazBlue fan. Okay, last but not least, we have the BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle Limited Box. So this is another game by Arc System Works, and this one is really cool because it crosses over BlazBlue and Persona 4 Arena and some other characters, which is awesome. I love a good crossover game, and really any fighting game by Arc System Works, you can't really go wrong. I will say for this set though, it is the only box set that I have in my possession right now that is sans soundtrack. There's no soundtrack, which is crazy. So it's the only one that does not have a soundtrack, unless it's actually in the case with the game, which it is not. We just have the game itself. And BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, which if you haven't tried it yet, go ahead and give it a shot. Again, Arc System Works, you kind of know what you're getting into, but it's a crossover game, and I love BlazBlue, I love Persona 4 Arena, so nothing really to complain about there. This does come with something that's kind of cool that the other ones did not, and these are acrylic figures. So they're made of acrylic, plastic, and they have little stands that you can put little pegs into, and then you can put these wherever. They're basically just like two-dimensional figures, and the artwork is pretty cool and detailed, so you can have these sitting nicely on a shelf, and that's pretty cool. So I do appreciate that they have that. So you have 4 characters here, and that's pretty damn cool. And again, like the others, I was going to say the other two, but all of the others, it comes with an art book. So this is the BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle art book. Not nearly as hefty as the other 2 Arc limited boxes I just showed. Those were really sturdy hardback books. This one is a paperback, and it has kind of like, it feels almost like I'm holding like some kind of like a comic book in my hand, except well, is there something additional in here? Okay, no. Looks kind of like postcards actually, but it is a nice art book, and the paper, the construction of the paper, it feels almost like a well, it's glossy. I'll say that the paper is extra glossy, so it has a shine to it, as I'm sure you're appreciating right now with the glare coming off of the paper. But yeah, so the paper, it's almost like postcard kind of paper. So the book itself is, it's a sturdy enough book. It's just not a hardback, which I think I would prefer. I like a nice sturdy hardback book. But you have all your characters from all your different properties. Actually, let me see what the other ones they have are here. Lin and is that Hyde or Hide? Not 100% sure what property they're from. Oh, Undernight in Birth. Okay. See, that's an Arc fighter that I actually have not tried before. So yeah, lots of cool characters here from Undernight in Birth, Persona 4 Arena, and of course BlazBlue. So very cool game, very cool artwork, and some other stuff up here at the front. Before you even get to the table of contents, you've got some cool artwork to look at. So I like this quite a bit. A very cool art book. Not quite as robust as the other BlazBlue one. That one definitely wins the day for best art book in a Is that like a category if we're having an award show? Best art book in a PS4 collection that was featured in this video goes to the other BlazBlue game. Anyway, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle Limited Box. Very cool, and I think that's, yeah, that'll do it. Those are all of the box sets I was gonna show you fine folks today. So there you go, half a dozen PS4 collector's boxes. I hope you enjoyed checking out their contents. I do like picking these things up and putting them in the hands of game collectors all over the world. If you'd like to pick up some stuff like this, or even some retro games, figures, soundtracks, all kinds of stuff, you can go over to my Facebook page. I have stuff like this for sale all the time. You can go and have a look, and if you want something, go ahead and pick it up. Or if you have some kind of special request in mind, you can always shoot me a message. I'm happy to take those. Anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at all these really kick-ass collector's boxes as much as I enjoyed opening them up. And until next time, thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.